news developments. I want to bring in Congressman Mike Kelly, Republican from the beautiful state of Pennsylvania, in the Pittsburgh area, directly affected, certainly on the manufacturing side, from what could be coming down, and as soon as 12:01 a.m. on Friday. Congressman, are folks in your district ready for that?
You know what, Neil, I don't think they're as concerned as what we hear sometimes. And again, you and I have had these conversations before. We finally have somebody that can actually go into a trade and not trade as a politician willing to give up market share, but a guy who understands that only by keeping our market share and increasing it can we continue to produce jobs. Listen, there's no doubt the last 2.5 years have shown when you have a strong business person actually running the business, you see positive results. In Pittsburgh, especially with resurgence of steel and what's happened in the steel community, is incredible.
You know, you might be right, Congressman, and you're quite right to point out if all of this, even the 10% cuts and others that have been in place when they first started, I think at 50 billion, then 100 billion, and where we are now closing in on 200 billion, the impact has been minimal, and there's not been much of an effort on the part of the businesses directly impacted by this, because, as you know, governments don't pay these tariffs. Those businesses, i.e. us, do. So it's one thing when it's at 10%, but it's quite another when it's at 25%, right?
No, that's true. But again, I've watched over the years, and I just reference a company in Newcastle, Pennsylvania called Blair Steel. When I met with them, I talked to them, how critical is this for you that this is going on? Is it going to hurt your business? Their answer was yes, it will hurt our business, but you know what? It's not going to kill us. And I said, what could we have done differently? And what they said to me is, we needed this president in office 39 years ago because we have lost market share year after year after year. And there's an old saying, Neil, you can't forfeit the game and then cry because you lost. That is absolutely insane what we've allowed to have happen on our watch with the greatest economy in the world, and we're allowing other people to drive the policy. That's absolutely crazy. When you have the strongest hand, play it.
All right. Again, we've been able to absorb these body blows. I don't know how reliable some of these numbers are coming out of the trade partnership, other groups like it that sort of try to quantify the potential hit of tariffs. They have said that it will cost the average family, just where we stand right now, close to $800 a year, that if they go the full Monty, so to speak, up to $325 billion in additional goods, 25% on top of that, now you're talking 2 million jobs, and likely an impact that could shave half a percentage point off the GDP. I don't know how they come to that, but
I don't know either.
That's it. But if that were the case, many in your district would be crying foul, right?
Well, I got to tell you, the people that I've served, you know, I'm an automobile dealer, so for years I sat across from a table with people who wanted to buy something, and I come down to this, you know, for a negotiation to take place, you have to have two parties that actually want to get to the same end, and that is a closing of a deal in a positive way. The biggest impact on families in the district are from that they have seen rising wages and job opportunities. We're such a deficit right now in having enough talent to fill the open job space. So I always say to people, listen, there's nothing harder to get done than to try to sell a car or a truck to somebody who's not working or not making enough money.
No, that's a good point, but you were also very good, got very wealthy doing that. And I assumed it wasn't because you were schnookering your customers. The fear that a lot of people have of China is that it will try to schnooker us, and that it will try to take advantage of loopholes or wording in documents and not honor those documents. What do you say?
Well, I think they have a history of that. So usually your past performance is an indication of what your future actions are going to be. I say we hold the strongest hand at the table. Don't be afraid to stay with that hand and stay with the negotiation to win. The greatest challenge that I see is that Americans backing off and saying, please, 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 hurry up and make a deal because it's hurting us. No, here's what I say to people. Stay strong. Stay with us, stay on board, and let's take back market share that we ceded to the rest of the world, and maybe in the hopes that somehow would make better friends. I just say, look at where we are, look at who we are, look at what we do. When America is strong, the world is safe. When America is not strong, the world is in grave danger. Right now, we have the opportunity to take advantage of the situation with a negotiator that knows how to win.
All right, you don't think the Chinese are thinking we're nuts? It's one thing one day, and then another thing another day, and then it's 10% one day, then it's 25% another day. It's $200 billion worth of good, and then all of a sudden it's a total of more than, you know, $500 billion worth of goods that we're not keeping our word.
Here's what I think about China. If your biggest customer says to you, I don't like the deal you're proposing to me, and I'm going to walk away from the table, you better scurry in a hurry to come to a situation where you can come to an agreement. Believe me, because of who we are and what we are and our ability to consume goods, I think China should be very alarmed right now. You know, they're kind of walking on thin ice in April right now with their economy. I would be a little bit careful saying we're going to walk away from doing business with the United States of America. I think that'd be a very foolish ploy on their part. I think stay strong, stick to your principles and say, you know what, this is about grabbing market share back that we ceded because we had politicians making trade deals and not people that understand how business works.
All right, Congressman, we'll see. All right, good seeing you again.
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for having me.